Some groups, they want to call themselves Zomi. Some groups, they want to call themselves Mars. Some group, they want to call themselves Com, or there are even some parts like Thado. Okay. At the end of the day, we should meet in one podium. And how can we meet in that podium? It's not by instigating each other. And when we are very passionate, we forget sometimes our rationality. Like you put yourself in a part where you're not part of the community, and you try to analyze the situation, then you will see how ridiculous we are, how absurd it is to attack each other. In the process of wanting to have our own identity, like clanism, we should not forget in the process that we have one common enemy.
Hello and welcome back to PP Chongloy Talk Show. My today's guest is so very special. She's very beautiful. In fact, the cover girl way before I was born in the year 1993 and 91. And currently, she's also the chairman of IHMF, that is Isaac Mar Memorial Foundation, Delhi, and also president of Voice of Minority France. She's none other than Linda. So welcome. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. You look so beautiful.
My pleasure, and thank you for inviting me, and for giving me the push up, the courage to come up here. Thank you, PP.
Thank you. You were a cover girl in the year 1991 as well as 93. That's way before I was born, and you still look so young and pretty. Let's talk about you being the cover girl. Please tell me your experience.
Oh my goodness, I think there's not much to talk about. Actually, Sun Magazine India was looking for a cover girl within the tribal community from the Northeast India, and the owner of Sun Magazine India happened to meet me, and he was the one who liked, I don't know what he liked about me, but then he was the one who suggested I should be the cover girl, and that's how it took place. And then in the second edition, it was for Northeast Sun Magazine. Yeah. That's kind of embarrassing, but well, that's part of my life. So
I don't agree the part that you say that's embarrassing, because that is something to be cherished forever, right? This kind of chance happens once in a lifetime and you got twice. See, how great is that? After you settled in France, you and your husband bought a giant boat and, traveled across the Atlantic. So, which very few people in the entire world experience that. Tell me your experience about it.
Thank you. Actually, when I met my boyfriend, husband to be, he had already told me his dreams actually, and he's somebody very humble, from quite a prominent family here, and so I kind of agreed to it. And by the time we were looking for a boat, my husband was posted in Yemen. So we went to Yemen together, which was supposed to be for 8 months, turned into 2 years, and that's where I got. I was expecting my first child, and then we just came back to France just before the civil war broke out in Yemen in 1993. Yeah, and that's when my daughter was born. Like the day she was born, my oldest daughter, my husband came back with 25 roses, because I don't believe in pair numbers. So he bought me 25 roses, and he came and he said, congratulations, and I have another gift for you. I bought a boat, a sailboat.
Oh my God, that is so sweet.
And we left to cross the Atlantic when my daughter was just 15. Wait a minute. When my daughter was just 9 months old. Yeah, she was not yet 1 year, because we celebrated her 1 year birthday in Tenerife with all the yachties. So that's yeah, we crossed. It took us more than 3 weeks to cross the Atlantic Ocean. So in the meantime, we spent some time in Tenerife, Las Palmas, and all the little islands, and then eventually it took us more than 10 days to come to Capo Verde, which we know as Cape Verde, and that's where it was in 1994, and there was a cholera epidemic at the time. So we could not recharge our boat with water and all that, our sailboat. And so that's how we spent about like 4 or 5 days in Capo Verde. And there's one thing we visited a bit the capital, and one thing I found is that it's a fisher village actually, but the government has made it in such a way that even in 1994 they have all infrastructure, and I think that in a place like Manipur, it's very sad to see, in 2021 that our villagers are still struggling with infrastructure. And for me, this is one thing that really breaks my heart. And that's when I really think that corruption has to be fought at grassroots level from all the leaders. These leaders, if they come up to represent us, they have to represent the people, the poor people. At least the minimum of things they can do is what the government has allotted for infrastructure should be spent for infrastructure. And that's my point of view, and that's what I'm fighting for a long, long time. I have no voice, I have no power, and that's when I started to form my foundation, IHMF, and this year, the way to get funding, like Voice of Minority in France. And then, like, talking about my experiences, like we spent a little more than 2 years on the sea. Yeah. Thank you, Bibi.
Hearing about your love life, about your sweet husband, now I'm looking for a husband in France. Okay, please help me. We are, so happy when we talk. We talk about good old days and whatnot. But looking at our present situation, it's very, sad. Our people are still homeless. Their houses been burned down to ashes, and we can't do anything. But you and I, the least we can do is like unite our people, right? It's not in our power, but somehow we can encourage one another. So you being a woman who has been advocating peace or unity, I would like to hear from you. How can we unite among ourselves? I mean, our communities.
Actually, I really do not know how, because knowing the mentality of our people and how fierce we are and how we do things, it's kind of difficult for me to comment on that. But one thing I can say is that as a community that belongs to the whole Zhou community, Zhou Ha Tlak. In Mizo we say Zhou Ha Tlak. In Paite they say Zhou Swan. In Kuki they say Zhou, or I don't know what they say, Tado Mo. But I think at the end of the day we come from the same root. So if other like Taro speaking or somebody or KSO or HSA or somebody, just for an example, has done something like in my traditional attire or something, some functions and all, I think for me personally, we should be happy about that. And I strongly, I'm really not into all this press release condemnation against one another within our community. If someone has done something for a protest rally or something, we should applaud them. Okay, we are with you. We are fighting one community. And vice versa. If the other party is doing something, the other one should, instead of going and backlashing them or issuing a press release against them, they should applaud them. Actually, that shows our unity. Whether some groups they want to call themselves Zomi, some groups they want to call themselves Mars, some group they want to call themselves Com, or there are even some parts like Cookie among the, not Cookie but Tado. Okay, and I think at the end of the day, we should meet in one podium. And how can we meet in that podium? It's not by instigating each other. It's not by insulting each other, by issuing press releases and all. And as some community that we are very passionate, right? And when we are very passionate, we forget sometimes our rationality. So when we write something in anger or some other vested people urging us to write certain things, but don't forget that there are always some people who have vested interest, But at that point, I think we should always look into other objection, other perspection from the outside objection. Like you put yourself in a part where you're not part of the community and you try to analyze the situation, then you will see how ridiculous we are, how absurd it is to attack each other. And I think that's my most important messages to our people. In the process of wanting to have our own identity, like clanism, be it any community names, I will not name it because we should not forget in the process that we have one common enemy. And that's what we tend to forget when we are boiling with passion and all. And I think we should just calm down, take time to reflect on our action. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Linda. That was a powerful message. Whoever watches this show or listening to our conversation will definitely learn something. I mean, there's this simple quote, united we stand and divided we fall. That simple quote can, if we go about it, if we, follow that, then we will definitely win, right?
Exactly.
So, do you want to discuss anything else apart from
Yeah,
that?
I would like to ask you a little question on how a young girl like you
I'm
could
so
be
nervous.
my daughter.
I'm so nervous.
You could be my daughter. So why are you taking up this kind of activities and, like what pushed you? And yeah, so let me ask you to comment on that. Thank you.
What pushed me to take up this course? This talk show or our crisis?
Talk show.
Talk show.
How
Okay.
come you? Yeah, because I looked into your historical, activities. Actually, you have never been this active, and you have never been having such a number of followers. So yeah, I wanted to ask you what pushed you to come to this platform and start almost like inviting a lot of known personality in your talk show and all. And I hope I can contribute to that in the future. Yeah, I mean like sponsoring or whatever, like helping you out.
I am nervous, but I don't know. So many people ask me, but I am always reluctant to share my story in the limelight. But since you requested and you also promised to donate or sponsor my upcoming episodes, I am bound to share. Ever since I'm a little girl, I always loved public speaking. I love to interact with people. I love to listen to their stories. And to have my own talk show has always been in the bucket list. And God has been so good and faithful to me that I could realize how do I put this, my potential or my calling at a very early age. And yeah, I started this talk show during the global pandemic. I was still doing my master's. I was still a student when I first started. And since you're asking me, let me elaborate a little bit. It was hard, starting off something with nothing. I hustle and bustle a lot. but God has been so kind, and I've met so many loving and caring people, generous like you on the way, that they have helped me, they encouraged me, they prayed for me, they gave me financial assistance, which makes me, come this far. And also, I started off like to give opportunities to young people. There are young people who have talents, and then it's like hiding somewhere. It's hidden. I mean, yeah. So through this talk show, giving this platform, they can share their story, and we can let the world listen to their story. So it's becoming like a community service, giving platform to especially young people. But then I feel like this platform shouldn't be confined to the young people. It should reach out to more people. Sadly, the conflict started, so I had to divert my talk show and then talk more about our cause, and it's becoming like a permanent platform for our people, which I'm glad. I feel like God was showing me the way, for this purpose, and I'm glad I did it. And I'm so thankful to all the people who have contributed in terms of money, in terms of anything, words of encouragement and everything. So I'm taking this time to thank all my subscribers, whoever subscribed to my channel, me without begging or asking for it, because people were like, even those YouTubers who's got millions and millions of subscribers ask their viewers to subscribe, and I don't do that. So me, without even asking people to subscribe, they have the heart to subscribe. They share my videos, and then they comment, they compliment me. So it gives me strength. It renews my strength, to strive more and then do better, right? Even you are one of them. I am so thankful to you and your family. May God bless you all. And thank you in advance
Thank
for,
you.
promising to donate. So
Thank you. Yeah. So if you
I
have
hope
any,
I answered
yeah,
your questions.
you did, and then I wish you all the all success. I wish you,
Mhm,
and then you continue, because I think our people, if everyone subscribe, because subscription is free actually, so you just
mhm,
have to click on the subscribe, and so the like publicity, and on in terms of how many views you get even paid by YouTube.
mhm.
So this is one thing that that's a way of entrepreneur, like entrepreneur in English, yeah.
Entrepreneurship, yeah.
So I mix a lot of French, English, so it has become my part of my. And then for people who minded, like in my last interview, that I spoke English, because when you come in a platform like this, and you wanted your viewers to be wider, I think it's also proper to talk in English, so you have more viewers, and you have more people to understand what you're talking about, because when
Mhm,
you talk about the violences and the atrocities that has been committed among the Kuki community, and if you speak only in our native language, I think then we miss the opportunity to expose the to the outside world. So I think it's not degrading to speak our second language, that is English. Of course, we are born with each one of us are born with our mother tongue, our native
mhm,
language. Some of us speaks even three, four, five languages, right? So I
mhm,
think it shouldn't people, like just leaving comments, like degrading comments, derogatory comments. We should avoid that. Instead of that, we should uplift one another. And I think everyone should subscribe to your channel, so you get more more views and more. Yeah, that's what I would like to tell our people also regarding that. Thank you. So.
mhm. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. After you promised to donate, you also give me advice as to how I, enlarge my platform. I I am so thankful to you. I mean, like I've said that like 100 times, but it's really coming from my heart.
It's okay
Yeah,
because
I
yeah,
want my viewers to know that my talk show is solely depend on free will contributions and
exactly.
donations from well-wishers. So if anyone is willing to help, then it's always welcome from every nook and corner of the world. And once again, thank you all so very much for your love and support thus far. And thank you to you too. So lastly, please say thank you and I love you in France, in French. Yeah, French, right?
Oh, ok. Je t'aime beaucoup
Je t'aime
et merci.
beaucoup.
Je t'aime beaucoup et merci encore pour l'invitation.
That's too
Uh,
long.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Okay, okay. You're welcome.
And yeah, so yeah, we need to we need to work together because we should not forget while we each one of us pursue our own way forward, we should not forget the village volunteers who are guarding our frontiers. For me, this message is very important, and I have for, the safeguarding of our village volunteers. Helping them out is my first priority. IDPs, especially the children who are malnourished and all. So let's hope we can all, as a global citizen, we can all bring something to make our community better.